I never expected to see Ida with that type of personality with this week's episode of Baby Steps. There is a lot of weight riding upon this match. So much weight. Not just for Achan, but for Ida as well. This entire episode goes to show you how both contestants, both people, have so much weight riding on their shoulders when it comes to this. So let's look at some examples from what is going on here. This can be the final match Achan ever participates in. For instance, this can be the final time he ever puts his all into tennis and goes all out. This could be the final time he ever does something like this. And also, this is the first time Achan's kind of ever been in a professional match. For instance, Achan makes an example and says that the crowd is so massive, so loud, so much cheering, and if you think about it, professional matches would have a large-ass audience. It's very obvious professional matches would. And so if you factor that in, this is like the first time Achan's ever been a part of like a mock professional match. And so he's getting to experience for the first time a professional match, along with this is the final time maybe the final time he ever plays tennis. So yeah, there's a lot of weight just right then and there. But I mean, it's not just that. You also have it where Ide, he gets in some form of accident in this episode. Like, a kid gets hit by a car first thing, and I'm like, yo, is Achan gonna win by default? Like, that's what I thought was gonna happen. I really did. And Achan almost did, which I will get in that in a moment. But Ide, he helped this kid out. This kid got hit, and he did the noble thing. He helped this kid out that got hit by a car. He contacted the ambulance and police. He went to the hospital with the kid. And I'm still questioning, where the fuck was the parents at? Like, where the fuck was those parents at with that kid? What the fuck? But another video, another day to discuss that if it ever comes up again. But still, the main point I want to get at is he went to the hospital to help with this kid, beside the kid, and answer the police's questions. And everything took a while, and it made it to where he might have defaulted from the match. Achan could have won and just walked off and said, like, I'm going to, All Japan Junior. That's what Achan could have done. And you had it to where the kid made, like, a conversation with Ida and says, like, hey, I don't want to take surgery. And then Ida's like, hey, I got a big match coming up today. I mean, if you take the surgery and I will win my match of tennis, and I want you to have a full recovery with your surgery, and I can tell you all about it. So right then and there, a lot of weight just put on top of his shoulders, because as we know, Ida's a type of character that gets more and more hyped and better as a player when he has more of the spotlight on top of him. This big match is fucking crazy, because there's so many people that become his fan, or people who watch his match because of what he did for the kid. There's so much spotlight on Ida in this episode and this match, especially with the kid on top of that, so he's going to be in top form. For instance, Ida's going to be in top form, and he's definitely going to be going all out from the beginning, so I don't think Achan's going to really have that easy of a game at all. It's going to be a fucking close match. It will. This is not going to be a curb stomp. This is going to be a close match, probably determined by a lot of fucking overtime. I sense that so much. So I can't wait to see how it's going to go. Let's talk about the default. So Achan, I don't know. I mean, let's think about this, okay? If your entire life was riding upon this match, okay, between Ida and yourself, let's say your entire life, like your choice and decision if you were going to go pro or not, and you would have to choose to go to college or go pro and do what you think is fun, rode on this match, and all of a sudden you had this perfect opportunity blessed upon you, saying like your opponent's not there and he can most likely be defaulted and, lose. What would you do? Seriously, I mean, don't just choose the morally right option. Please, don't. Think about this real quick. Think about the situation. I mean, Achan did a very noble thing, and I commend Achan for what he did. It was very nice and sweet, especially after the actions of what Ida did with helping out the kid. And the big thing is, though, would you all have waited 30 minutes to an hour, even let's say 4 hours? Would you have waited if you were given the opportunity to automatically win without playing? Would you? Seriously. I mean, you gotta think about this. Achan's future rides upon this, and I mean, if Achan wasn't the main character, and I wasn't almost certain he was gonna win, like, I'm almost certain he's gonna win, it's very obvious, but I mean, if he loses, holy shit, but I mean, this could have been like the said game and done. Achan could have been out completely from ever playing tennis again. Think about this. I mean, what type of shit would this be? Let's say you weren't the main character of your story, and let's just put it in this type of perspective. Let's say you were in a realistic, real-life situation what Achan was in, okay, in this episode with the default. If you were playing tennis, I'm talking about real life, okay? You're playing tennis, and you're given a default, like, yeah, someone can get defaulted, and you have the decision to where you can default this dude and pass on, or just wait around for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, or a couple hours, until he gets back. What would you do if your entire life rode upon this? Would you be the noble guy and say, like, no, let's just wait? Or would you say, no, let's do it. I want to get done with this for, I could succeed. What would you do? Seriously, think about this for a second. I mean, your entire life rode upon this, and since you're not the main character and shit can happen, that would mean if he came back, let's say he did come back and you lost, you wasted that golden opportunity to be able to go to All Japan Junior, whatever type of competition you're in, to be able to go pro. Think about that for a second. So yeah, you see what I'm getting at. The point I'm getting at is Achan could have just cast aside the only opportunity he had as a victor. Now, overall though, episode of Baby Steps, man, fucking amazing. It was a really good episode. I can't wait to see what Achan's gonna do and how he's gonna overcome all this spotlight. I wonder if Achan's gonna be able to play a lot better since there's such a huge crowd, because he's always wanted to go pro. He wants to experience going pro. I wonder if this will hype him up even more, just like, how Ida is. We'll see. So tell me your thoughts and comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.